with a hierarchy, an economy, and rules. But if you choose to make it your home, there may be no turning back. For 1 year, National Geographic followed the lives of inmates and officers in the state of Ohio. It's a system bent on making inmates better, filled with convicted felons who might already be worse.
Get out of my face.
This is a year of hard time. For the more than 50,000 inmates living in the Ohio prison system, every day comes down to a choice of how you will do your time.
Come on, couple more.
Prepare to re-enter the free world.
You read it as 2,201.
Or fall prey to life on the block, where gambling and hustling can lead to violence.
Hold it on there. You all right?
This is Ross Correctional Institution, a medium and close security prison in southern Ohio, home to some of the state's toughest offenders, and a society all its own.
This is a whole different universe. It's a city within gates.
You got different people from different walks of life, and strength is the only thing that's recognized in here. You gotta survive by any means necessary.
Life here is full of pitfalls.
Keep doing that. Hold still.
So you got 4?
You'll have 5.
Violence, drugs, gangs. They are pitfalls that can put an inmate at odds with the system and make time harder.
If you don't want better for yourself, if you can't think for yourself, you want the next man thinking for you, you're in the right place. Because people will run amok over you in here. This ain't about, you know what I'm saying, being tough. This is about using this and surviving prison.
We're up here because we was in your chairs. And we actually give a about you. If you don't fix what got you here, you are coming back. They have apprenticeships here. They have education here. But you got to go after it. Rehabilitation is on you.
You really know you need this.
Will you let your sentence change you for better or worse? In prison, there is no easy path. But one thing is certain. No one leaves the same way they came in, if they ever leave at all.
I don't think like most people, I know that. Because time don't bother me. I made the best of a bad situation.
Orrin Brumley is a fixture at Ross.
How you doing, Godfather? I know everybody here. They all know me. Some people call me, there goes the alarm clock. Because at 10 minutes to 2 every day, I step out that front door on time every day, 10 minutes to 2. But it never changes. It's a routine.
7 days a week, Brumley mops the floors and cleans the bathrooms in the captain's office and earns $17 a month.
Who all wants coffee? You want some coffee?
I'll take one.
I've done 40 years in prison.
Thank you.
There's a world of difference in doing time for my first 20, 25 years than what it is today. It's a world of difference. When I started doing my time, you minded your business. You was either a man or you got killed, and I loved it like that. I wish it was back like that. There's nothing in this world that would stop me from being where I'm sitting at right now. At age 12, I drank moonshine. I'm from the mountains in Kentucky. My dad would wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get drunk with him. I was a cold-blooded alcoholic before I turned 13 years old.
Brumley's addictions fueled a life of violent crime. A rap sheet that encompasses 4 decades and began when he was a teenager.
March of 1968. That's when I first went to prison. I was 17 years old. I was out burglarizing, stealing everything I could. And I got out. I stole a state trooper's car and ran over top of him. Went to prison, got out again. And I don't remember much. I was on drugs and alcohol. Killed another guy in a bar in Hamilton, Ohio. And I was given 15 to life for that. And I got out again.
It would be his last release to the free world. In 2003, wielding a knife, he entered the home of an 80-year-old man. Brumley demanded money, but the victim refused. And Brumley stabbed him 27 times in the neck, chest, and back. His victim barely survived, and Brumley was sentenced to 38 years for attempted murder. A pattern of violence carried forward from his time behind bars.
I did stretches in the hole for being drunk. I killed one inmate and stabbed another one. Violence to me, man, it's the answer in here. If they turned me loose today, I'm telling you, I would be in your house tomorrow because I don't know nothing else. And I'll honestly say it, is if they keep you in this prison over 10 years, they should never release you. Either take you out there and shoot you or whatever.
You know these are Smith & Wesson? What the hell? It's probably the last thing they actually make in America, huh? Handcuffs. Imagine that. They call me Squirrel, but my name's Dwayne. I'm from Alliance, Ohio, up north. Canton, Alliance area. I've been locked up for a while.
For almost 3 months now, 27-year-old Dwayne Rozier has been locked down in 5A, Ross's segregation unit.
That's crazy, man.
His charge, threatening staff. Just the latest incident in his 10-year sentence.
I mean, I'm always in trouble. I like to talk. I mean, I like to run my mouth to these people. You know what I mean, make them mad. Because I'm mad because I'm here. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be quiet because you want me to.
When you go back down there, will you grab the phone, man? No. Come on. No. Right there when you do the trades, man. No. Come on. No. It's crazy. Grab them. Help. My shit go. You handle that.
Segregation is restrictive, even by prison standards. Inmates here are cuffed whenever they leave their cells. Locked down 23 hours a day. Few privileges, and no movement. But even here, life goes on.
Hey, Bloom. Damn, dog.
And here's everybody knows everybody.
Whoa, dog. I need some ass or something, man. If I had a face like that, I need some ass to do. Ain't no doubt.
Maxim, I say that. I've just acquired people magazine. Sports Illustrated magazine.
So it's like a family, a close-knit family in here, for real.
What's up, man? What's up? Okay, they here, baby. Man, we in there.
It's maybe a bunch of idiots and morons and dope fiends, but we're, you know what I mean, we pretty much look out for each other, you know.
Hey, come here, man.
Here at Ross, Rozier goes by the name Squirrel and has built a reputation as a troublemaker.
Everything's a big game most of the time. I mean, that's all I like to do is run around, play, and goof off. I don't take nothing serious. Your development really stops when you come in here. I mean, if you come in here young like that, like I did.
Squirrel grew up under state supervision, foster care, and group homes. But 10 years ago, his childhood in the system ended, and his adulthood as a convict began. In 2000, he watched his best friend shoot a man in a botched robbery and helped him hide the gun. Squirrel was 17 years old, and over the last decade, the Ohio prison system has become home.
You people on the streets, they know that their family raised them to get up every day, go to work, and they seen their mom and dad interact and do this and do that. So that's what they know. So this is what I know. Like, you could put me in any prison in the state of Ohio, or probably any state, they're probably all pretty much the same. And within 24 hours, I can tell you where to get anything. Who's got weed, who to buy shanks from, who's got a store, who's shooting tattoos. And you get in tune with the place, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like instinct, animal instinct. You know, just takes over.
10 years ago, Squirrel chose his path and made a life for himself in prison. But now, it's a life that's about to come to an end.
It's a whole world in here. A brand new world. The cell is their house. The block is their neighborhood. And the compound is their city. That's home. For right now, anyway. Things don't stop just because that fence is there. We make do with what we got.
It's the little reminders of the free world that keep an inmate connected to what he left behind. But for those facing life sentences, like David Stonestreet, prison could be the only reality they'll ever know.
We're the outcasts of the world. Prisoners are. I'm not counting on getting out. I'm counting on spending the rest of my life in here, so I'm going to do what I want to do.
20 years ago, Stonestreet was a teenager in the projects of Akron when he got involved in a grisly murder. On August 13th, 1991, he led two accomplices to the home of a former employer. Stonestreet claims he was ordered to bind the man's arms and legs, while an accomplice stabbed the victim and beat him to death with the butt of a rifle.
Then he put the gun on my head and told me kick him or die too. I was scared. I don't even know how many times I kicked that guy. I know I was covered in blood. Turned myself in, told the police what happened, and they screwed me. I got 20 years for it. I was real shocked when they found me guilty. I remember I was crying. I don't cry no more. I don't have no more like tears like that towards anything.
Stonestreet came into the system young, with a 20 to life sentence. And to get through his time, he chose to transform, to leave Stonestreet behind, and become Twiggy.
You know, people's minds change in prison. Being confined, you start adapting. Your mind starts playing tricks on you and stuff like that, in which it does. See, I've never been with a woman, never had sex with a woman. I was locked up for 9 years before I started any homosexual activity. Someone got some weed in prison. And we're just rolling it up, and I'm getting high, and it just, I just got freaky. I had sex with another man. I never turned back.
Sexual activity of any kind is illegal in prison. But Twiggy defies the rules. And while being gay can make you a target here, he puts his sexuality on display in the hope that no one can use it against him.
When I first got here, I went out on the rec yard and laid out in these panties and to get everybody riled up and laughing and joking and smiling and stuff when I got here, and it worked. Call me later. Yeah. Call me. Guards don't mess with me. Inmates don't mess with me. You ain't got nothing to say today? I don't want to holler at you, man. I know. When you're all the way out, you have control. When you're in the closet, you don't have no control. You don't want no one to know what you're doing. Me, I don't care. So there's nothing you can hold over my head.
But even Twiggy gets tested. And when that happens, he puts on his signature accessory.
In prison, someone that looks like me with pink gloves on just whooped you. How can you walk around this compound and act like you tough it all? How can you even show your face? It's a reputation for me. I am what I am, you know?
Carve out your place and be willing to fight for it. It's a philosophy that's shaped how Orrin Brumley does his time.
Even the 20-year-olds can't keep up with me. I'm kind of proud of that, too. I won't be able to fight back if one of these youngsters take anything from me. Or just beat them so bad that they won't never do it again.
At 60 years old, Brumley's one of the few old-timers in 1A, a cell house with a tough reputation, known for gang rivalries and extortion. Tensions that have lately led to violence. There have been 2 major fights here in the past month alone, both instigated by young inmates. Officers quickly control each incident and uncover the suspected cause: theft. For Brumley, it's just another reminder of changing times.
Man, this is hard in here right now. I can't adjust to these new people. I'm like an old dinosaur. I can't change. I mean, I can't listen to their music. I don't like the way they wear their pants down to their knees, and I can't relate to them.
With 40 years lived behind bars, Brumley's seen the prison system change. Today, it's a far cry from when he says he did time on his own terms.
Oh, that's beautiful. I used to love doing time. You had to be a man. You had to respect everybody around you. And that's the way I like it. It was real strict. If I came to you and I bought a pack of cigarettes off of you and I told you I would pay you tomorrow, and when tomorrow comes, I just ignore you, don't say nothing to you, I know that I'm going to get killed. Anybody that steals off of somebody else, or if I tell on you for something, I should be killed. Now that's my way. I can't change from that way of thinking because I loved it like that.
The convict code of how to do time may have changed. But for young inmates, prison isn't any easier. And many of them think that power and protection lie in the numbers. Clicking up, joining a gang.
Surviving out there is different than surviving in here. I don't care what anybody says. When you come to prison, if you're not in a gang or hang with a certain group of people, within 6 months you're gonna, you know what I mean? That's just how it is. Before I was some little white kid that listened to rap and smoked a lot of weed. Came to the joint, I was probably about 130 pounds. Used to get whooped on because I had a mouth like I was 6'6". I tried to adapt, you know, the best way I could from being the person that I was on the streets and then coming in here and trying to be that same person. I found out quickly that wasn't gonna work, you know. That's when I changed who I was, became what I became.
Squirrel wears his transformation on his skin. Emblems of time served. Prison tattoos are a common sight at Ross. They swear allegiance to a gang or a memory. But outside these gates, their meaning can change for the worse.
I got a big red swastika on my side. Who walks around with a big red swastika tattooed on their side with a skull and some horns? Who does that? I mean, that's not normal, but in here it's normal.
Like when you're a teenager, all these guys now, these tattoos on their face and stuff, they don't know when they get 50 and 60 years old, their skin starts to wrinkling, them old tattoos. Man, they don't realize that right now. I mean, when I was out for a while there, and I felt like a freak looking like this.
I'm not gonna hide anything that, you know what I mean, that I went through, or, you know what I mean, did while I was here. It's a part of who I am now, but at the time it felt necessary. But now thinking back, it might not even have been necessary, man.
The changes Squirrel has undergone in prison, superficial or otherwise, could complicate any chance at a normal life in the free world. A life that is set to begin in a matter of days.
My little calendar with some Chiquita banana stickers. I got 9 days left, 8 days. Something. It's Friday. I go home next Sunday, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do. You know? Since I got adapted to prison, you know what I mean. The hardest thing now is knowing that they're about to open that door and kick me out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, let me out, but basically kicking me out. Like I can't refuse. Like, no, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I can't do that. They ain't gonna let me. I don't think they'd let me. I don't know what to expect. I guess I'm just have to learn or come back.
The state of Ohio has built its prison system around an organizing principle: rehabilitation through work.
You just don't lock people up. You need to rehabilitate them. We're actually teaching somebody something that they can get out and help their families or help their loved ones out and try to give back to the community.
Inmates who choose to stay out of trouble can get on-the-job training. And their labor supports the system itself. The slaughterhouse prepares meat for the state's prisons. The machine shop repairs its trucks. And they are all jobs that pay. Inmates just entering the system start out on the lowest rung, cleaning dorms for $12 a month. But for those who toe the line and choose the path of rehabilitation, there are few jobs more prestigious than the furniture factory at Ross. Here, inmate employees build desks and shelves for other prisons in the state and earn up to $80 a month, more than any other prison job at Ross. For David Applegate, though, working in the shop is about more than money. It's a way to stay focused on the world beyond prison.
I really don't feel like I'm locked up while I'm working. It just feels like I'm at my job. It gives you a different place for your mind to go. It's when you leave work, you have to drop your pants, be patted down, make sure you're not taking anything out. That's when you're reminded, hey, you're locked up. And you walk out on the yard. It's directly out into the yard, so you know you're there. But while I was working, I didn't feel like I was locked up. That's the key. Do something that makes you not feel like you're here.
Applegate spends about 6 hours a day working at the factory. And back on the block, he's known as the jailhouse handyman.
The other day, a guy brought this fan to me, had the cord cut off of it. He said, here, you might need this for parts. I said, well, what's wrong with it? He said, well, the guy who gave it to me said it was burnt up. I said, well, did you use some sandpaper on the shaft and put a little oil on there and see if the bearing or bushing was messed up? He said, no, I didn't do anything to it. I said, I'm gonna fix it. So I fixed it. I put a new cord on it. It runs fine. Yeah, it's easier to fix things than fix myself, that's for sure. Do they ever call me MacGyver? All the time.
Repairing other inmates' appliances is a small-time hustle for Applegate. One that keeps him in touch with the life he knew on the street.
I had a mobile mechanic business, my own business. Made good money. I lived good out there. I had a lot of good people around me. I had a nice family. They didn't give me here. I got myself here. I don't want them to support me.
With his factory job, Applegate doesn't have to rely on his family on the outside for money. As far as he's concerned, his actions have cost them enough already. 6 years ago, Applegate was accused of an attack that led to the death of another. He was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sent to prison for 20 years. But Applegate is determined to not let the time go to waste.
When I got locked up, I thought, well, I'm 25. If they give me 20 years, I'll be 45. I have to do basically my whole life almost over again, but behind bars. The more I'm working, the less I'm thinking about it. That's how I deal with it.
Applegate's job lies at the heart of his routine. And routine is the bedrock of prison life. Every day at Ross is arranged on an unchanging timetable. 3 daily meals, 7 daily counts, work and recreation. A schedule that provides comfort, purpose, and distraction when an inmate faces decades in prison. But that structure can also be dangerous. After years lived in the system, it can seem impossible to live outside of it.
I don't think about bills and kids and all of the house. I mean, my own house, I don't know what that is. This is my house right here. I live in a gas station bathroom for real with another guy, you know? Prison is where I've adapted myself to it. It's like a lizard, one of them little lizards that can change the color, whatever's around them. I done changed my color to what's around me, and now I can't change back.
Inmates call it getting institutionalized, when life within the gates feels more like home than what lies beyond them. It's a fate David Applegate is trying to escape.
I strive not to turn into some of the guys that have been down for 20 plus years. They're not right. They're institutionalized. For the next 14 years, this is my life. I'm trying very hard not to let it get the best of me.
But Applegate's intentions may face a test. There's a rumor circulating that the Ross Furniture Factory is closing down. And if it's true, David Applegate will have to find a different way to do his time.
You gotta have commitment to get through this. To come inside prison and don't do nothing with your life is basically saying that you done gave up on life. Because right here is the best place to get yourself together, because you have nothing but time to find your real self. And if you look hard enough, you will find your real self.
For the last 6 years, inmate David Applegate has been working toward a future outside of prison. He's an employee at the Ross Furniture Factory, where inmates can make 6 times as much as other prison jobs in the state. That money has broad significance. An inmate's income becomes credit, which is used at the prison store to buy commissary. Goods like snack food, coffee, or pre-stamped envelopes. Back on the block, these store goods become valuable commodities, traded for anything from home-cooked meals to tailoring.
I used to draw for some people. Now I really only tailor pants. These were a little bit wider when I started, and I'll just sit there, take and fold them over and sew them like clear up to the knee. So that way they're more of a straight leg. I charge about 3 coffees, which is about $6. It's pretty much like $1 an hour, almost. I guarantee all my work, so you can bring it back for free.
The side jobs are called hustles, and they are the fabric of the underground inmate economy.
A hustle, it's like a job, you know what I'm saying? It's like a job because everybody has to do something in order to survive. You got to get money somehow.
Ohio makes sure every inmate gets a minimum of $12 a month in state pay for their prison job. Some inmates have friends and family on the outside putting money on their books. Others rely on what they earn at their prison jobs to buy commissary.
You can order out for some underclothes or go grocery shopping. With this, I'm allowed to buy extra. You know, things I want instead of things I need. And some people like to send money home to their family. This is a better job to do that.
But today, Ross has made an announcement. Orders for furniture in the prison system are down, so the state has decided to close the factory's doors.
It was rumor for the longest. It was a rumor. And then it came down, yeah, we are shutting down. They said that the economy out there is just so bad that nobody's buying furniture. You can't produce furniture if no one's buying it.
Even prison isn't immune to the pressures of the outside economy. And the inmate employees will have to find other ways of getting by.
Without programs, how's a man supposed to rehabilitate? They're not going to be able to. So what are they going to do? They're going to fall back to what they know out there on the street, you know, hustling.
I don't want to do a hard time. You know, I got 20 years. I don't want to do 20 years of hard time. I worked there for, I think, over 5 years, so I got into a routine of that. Now that's gone. It's like started all over again in here, you know? And then you realize just how much you get caught up in, you know, being here, this atmosphere.
The factory's closing is a painful reminder that Applegate is locked up, dependent on his routines to get through the next 14 years. And for some inmates, a far-off release date can become too much to bear.
I mean, I got tired. I was taking LSD and I was in a cell by myself. I was tripping on acid and I took 80 hits at one time. And I had to end up doing 2 years in a mental institution because of it. Put 1,700 stitches in my throat and arms. Cut my guts out and everything. I wanted to burn out or die. I wanted to go brain dead or die. But I got over that. I don't feel like that now. And a lot of these guys laying there and go nuts. They got stuff outside, people, families, and all that. I don't know nothing about it, so I don't think about it now. I like it here. That's nephews and nieces and stuff like that. I don't know none of them. That's 2 pictures that were made in a bar. Me and my brother. I don't even know. I don't even know why I keep none of them.
Got pictures of my dogs. That was my first dog right there. The Boston Terrier. That's cool. It's called him Dollar Bill. Life. I missed most of my teens, all my 20s, and I'm about to miss all my 30s. So when I go out there, I don't even have no life. What do I know in here? I ain't learned nothing. I don't know what's out there on the outside world. I don't. Everything I watch on TV. To love and movies and everything like that, that's what I think the outside world is. I don't know if I am gay or not. If I got on the street, would I be doing what I'll be doing right now? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I watch TV. Yeah, I understand a little bit of what's going on out there. But man, I don't know what's going on out there. I don't know how to survive out there, you know what I mean? Everybody, I mean, every human being, you fear change. Like, even if you hate something you're doing in life, you don't want to change it because you don't know if it's going to be better or worse. What you change it for? Sometimes it just seems inevitable, like you're going to come back. Like, it's hard to imagine not being back, you know? It's hard to imagine not being here, for real. I think I've lost my mind. I lost who I was, I know that. I ain't the same person I was. But I've changed a lot these 10 years, you know? Changed a lot. But for real, I'm still a little kid, man. For real, I think like a 16-year-old, for real. 27 years old.
It's 3 days out from the end of inmate Dwayne Rozier's 10-year prison sentence. And he's leaving segregation for one of the first times in 3 months to start the release process. These are the first steps to freedom, what every inmate goes through before getting out.
Bruce here.
What? I don't know my social security number.
Give me your name and number.
Rozier 389352.
What's your date of birth?
1/12/83.
Alrighty.
Last name, number, and date 2/19.
You can go through, throw away what you don't want over there.
Fill us out when it's a forwarding address, gets to the mail room and all that. So what are you taking home with you on?
Just mail. The rest of it, I'm throwing everything else away.
Throwing everything else away?
Yeah.
You had $5.42 on your personal account. You get $75 cash in money. That's a total of $80.42 that you'll receive on Sunday when you leave.
Let's see. Address mine. What the hell is this?
The prison makes sure every inmate has a way home once he's released.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You follow her.
If he doesn't have a ride, he will be taken to the bus station.
Over here, young man.
A friend is picking Squirrel up at the front door on Sunday. A necessity for an inmate who hasn't been outside the gate in 10 years.
If you set me outside that gate right now and said, okay, go home, and I was on my own, I'd look at you like you were retarded. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Where the hell do I go? What the hell is this building? I know there's a road out there, but I don't know what road it is, which way, when I got on that road, which way I'd have to go. I'd have a 50-50 shot of going the right way, because I know there's one road right there at the park. I have a 50-50 shot. I'm not no Indian tracker or nothing. I can't tell you like, oh yeah, the sun's right there, so I got to go that way. It's north. I can't do that. You know what I mean? So I'd literally be lost. I have no idea where I am. None.
But even after he leaves Ross, Squirrel will not be a free man.
Okay, I need you to sign right here. This is for your ID. When you leave Sunday, make sure they give it to you. We have you reporting Monday at the Canton APA office.
He's been assigned to a transitional center to help him adjust to life in the free world. If he violates his parole, he could return to prison for another 5 years.
I got 24 hours before I got to turn myself into the halfway house. I want to get out there and drink, pop pills and stuff. I don't want to turn myself back in. Sometimes I think I'm gonna try and be out there and be good. I tell myself, like, man, you're gonna get out there. You can do good if you want to. But I mean, do I really want to? And it took 10 years of my life for nothing. I really want to give them 6 more months? I don't know. We'll see. You know what I mean? One way or the other, we're gonna find out. Definitely gonna find out.
Pack your own stuff. I ain't letting 4 or 5 guys come out and help you go across yours.
Across camp, another inmate is undergoing a change of his own.
You got any problems when you get over to the unit, stop up the office and see me. You need anything.
Orrin Brumley is being moved to another cell house. His current block, 1A, is being turned into a 20 and under dorm.
They switching the dorms over to 20 and under. I guess they trying to isolate, the little troublemakers.
It's just like juvenile prison. These kids are going to go around and beat the out of each other. They don't know anything. They don't know how to do time. What's up, Jim?
The young ones, they've took it over. This is our joint now. You old timers got to step aside, you know. But Jesus, I'm happy to step aside. Look what they've done to the system. I mean, yeah, they can have it. If I got to go out there and drop my pants down to my knees, my dirty underwear hanging out in everybody's face, walking around here, with old baggy look, they can have it. I done got too old to be out there messing around with these youngsters and going crazy.
Even in prison, times change. And now, after 40 years in the system, Orrin Brumley must make way for the next generation. He's been assigned to a cell house with older inmates, a retirement home of sorts, and a comfortable place to live out the rest of his life behind bars.
I accept everything as it comes. Because, hey, I learned many, many years ago, you can't fight the system. You have to just adjust to it and go along with it. Like these young guys, they're fighting it, and they ain't doing nothing. The only thing they do is every week or so, they're packing their stuff and unpacking, going up here to the hole and back out, and the hole and back out. I just got tired of all that, so now I just ease by. I just do it day by day.
Finna be released back into society. That's where the real test come in at. Are you gonna hold strong to your belief, or are you gonna fall back? Whether I learn or am I gonna let the devil win? It's a choice.
It's been nearly 4 months since the closing of the Ross Furniture Factory, and David Applegate has found a new job. He's working in the maintenance shop, manning the spray station. But rather than earning $80 a month, his salary has been slashed to just $20.
Like being a CEO at a company, and now you're just a regular, ordinary worker. That'd be your pay cut. Work at the furniture shop made it a little easier.
The lower salary means leaner times, and a road ahead that may have gotten that much longer.
I don't try to wrap my head around doing 20 years. I just take it day by day, year by year, until it's over. That's the way I have to do it.
While David Applegate contemplates his future, David Stonestreet has gotten news that has him setting out on a new path as well. He has his first parole board hearing coming up, a strong incentive to abide by the rules, so he's doing his best to stay under the radar, which means a regulation haircut, a cell stripped of decoration, and letting go of his prison persona. After 20 years, he's leaving Twiggy behind.
Could I go out there and live? Yes, I could. Could I go out there and not jaywalk and never come back to jail? Hell yeah. Could I be a productive citizen? Yeah, I think I could. That's the $20 million question right there. If they let me go. I don't know, I might be a comedian. Hell, I might make a living at that, talking about this crazy stuff in prison. That'd be a good story, Life of a Prisoner. It'd be a good book title.
Across camp, Dwayne Rozier's life as a prisoner is about to come to an end. Today, he's getting released from Ross Correctional Institution, re-entering a world he's been apart from since he was 17 years old.
You think about getting out every day of your bit. Every day for the last 10 years, I've thought about the day I get out. Man, I can't wait the day I get out. Man, I can't wait the day I get out. Every day. I've been thinking about this for years. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem real. You know what I mean? I ain't never had a job, never had a car, never lived on my own, nothing. I ain't never used a cell phone, been on a computer, none of that. I ain't never did none of that. They still wearing pagers when I was out there. Everybody had pagers. I don't use that no more, huh? Where the hell am I gonna work? Where do you find work? You know what I mean? Walking there with a big red and black freak right across my neck, 1488 across the back of my neck, a squirrel on the back of my head. Hey, you need somebody to flip burgers for you or something? You know? I don't know how to do nothing. Literally don't know how to, never had a job. Literally don't know how to do nothing. I know how to live in prison. That's not a job skill.
They keep somebody that long all their life locked up and then turn them out there. I mean, what chance have you got? I killed a 26-year-old man at a bar. And he had a wife and a couple of kids. All that time I did and building up all this hate in me. I mean, I hate so bad I can taste it.
The joint changes you, man. I mean, it changed me like all the way, like complete 180. I'm like a totally different person. Turning a 17-year-old that wants to just get high and drunk and have fun into a month that I want to get high and party and be hateful, man. This fills you with hate being here, like real bad. You hate everybody. You hate the police. You hate people that ain't part of your group. For real, I hope I can change all that, man. If I come back, I know I'm gonna give up, and I know this is gonna be the rest of my life. In and out, or just all out, a life sentence. I'm pretty much almost 100% positive if I end up coming back, that's what's gonna happen, so. This is it. This is it.
What kind of car she drive?
No, she's borrowing her mom. She wrecked her. She had a Jeep. She wrecked it. So I don't know what the hell, man. Yeah, that's my world in there, man. It's different out here. I don't know. It's crazy, I know that. Damn, that's crazy. Now what do I do? Wait on her, man. I'm free.